Stigma and lack of funds for sanitary pads have made the topic of menstruation a taboo in many parts of the world. However, a group of men in South Sudan want to help change that. Men for Women is calling for an inclusion of the cost of hygiene products in school fees and a tax exemption on sanitary pads to allow girls attend classes. Winnie Chirino reports for VOA from Juba.
Data Gordon is the program manager for Care Foundation, which initiated Men for Women initiative. He says there are many cultural beliefs around menstruation that have prevented girls from learning about their periods. He says ending the stigma around menstruation should start with men.
We are doing this because we find that out of the many reasons that girls drop out of school is that there is a high rate of period stigma. You find a girl can have stains on her clothes and boys laugh at her, and the next day she doesn't come to school, she misses school, and you find that that is the end of her life when it comes to education.
OK Foundation says it initiated the program to create conversations between parents and daughters, as well as men and women, to end the stigma related to women's menstrual periods. Gordon says more than 70% of South Sudanese are illiterate, and to make matters worse, young girls drop out of school due to lack of money for buying sanitary pads. He says the government should offer a solution by relieving taxes on sanitary towels to encourage girls to stay in schools.
We are advocating for tax exemptions on sanitary products generally, say that a girl can be able to afford, or a parent can be able to afford. For example, if you use to buy, maybe spend £300 to buy 3 packets of sanitary pads, at least use that same £300 to buy maybe 5 packets of sanitary pads, and that will really help reduce the budget of sanitary pads, and it will also help NGOs to buy more of the sanitary pads to be able to distribute.
Olympio Attipoe, Commissioner for Revenue Authority, says NGOs or international organizations get tax exemptions on products imported from abroad. He says items that are important to South Sudan's social development ought to be sold below the market price and made affordable to buyers. Attipoe, however, warns that if sanitary pads are granted tax exemption and sold at the open market price, the seller would gain a profit at the expense of the buyer, creating an unintended consequence.
Before we talk about exempting the sanitary pad, we really need to understand who are the people bringing the sanitary pad. If it's international organization and NGO, we are ready to exempt. But if it is a businessman who is in to make profit, exempting will not change anything, because the same open market price is going to be charged. So the people that we want the exemption to benefit will not benefit from it.
Mary Tenge, senior teacher at Rainbow Primary and Secondary School, says the idea of increasing school fees to provide sanitary pads for girls is a good idea, but it may be too much for parents.
It is really a good idea, but we should first discuss with the PTAs, and the parents should also be called for meeting. Because when we include it without the parent being knowing it, they will also complain.
Tawadis Amin, a mother of a primary school pupil in South Sudan, says parents are struggling to pay school fees and any additional charges would not be fair. Speaking in Arabic, Amin says parents who don't have girls may not benefit, and some parents may decide to stop sending their children to school due to extra costs.
If the organization is able to provide sanitary pads, then it is better, because adding the tuition fee will affect, since the father may say, I am not sending a girl to school. As for boys, adding the fees may mean nothing because they do not need pads. That's why I'm saying, as a mother, there is no need for the increment.
Gordon says the government should subsidize sanitary products so that families in South Sudan who live under $1 per day can afford sanitary needs, including sanitary pads. For VOA News, I am Winnie Chirino in Juba.